G'day, this is Simon and James at South OC Cars and Coffee. Hey, welcome back guys. We are having a great weekend. The sun is shining. There's some amazing cars all rolling in. What have you seen, James?
Got a bunch of cool stuff here. It's kind of an eclectic mix of supercars this morning. We had a 458 Speciale roll in, a bunch of different, it's kind of like a Huracan morning. We have a ton of Huracans here, a bunch of really cool kind of quirky stuff as well, a gated Murcielago. Just some really, really cool stuff. What have you seen? Yeah, there's been some really cool trucks as well, some old classic stuff. I think it was a 56 F100 that I saw, and a classic like dual cab old classic truck as well. Some really amazing stuff. And don't forget, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, please remember to respect our rules. No speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes around the streets of San Clemente and getting on and off the freeway as well. Mate, let's go for a walk and check some stuff out. Let's do it. Here we have a really nice Lamborghini Murcielago, and this isn't any Mercy, this is a gated 6-speed manual. We've had this one here a few times, but this is like the ultimate Lamborghini in my opinion. V12, 6-speed, absolutely beautiful, really nice kind of metallic orange to it, silver wheels. I mean, it's classy, it's timeless, absolutely love it. Let's check out Rob's Lamborghini Huracan Evo. This is the all drive model. You can see a beautiful metallic green, gold wheels, and the white interior. Probably one of the coolest spec Huracans that we've had at the show, and probably the coolest spec that I've actually seen in person. All the way at the end of the row, we have the 458 Speciale. I did not see this car initially, but now that I'm walking to the end of the row, I see it posted up all the way at the end, hidden. What a beautiful car. The last of the naturally aspirated V8 Ferraris. So, so cool. This is a car that I've been waiting to see for a very long time. This is a genuine 911 Cup car conversion. It has the GT2 front end sitting on BBSs. Tons of carbon on this car. You can see it's a lot wider in the back, and it is 1,500 wheel horsepower. Let's take a closer look. There's so much carbon all over this car. Massive wing. Check out the exhaust on this. My God, this car is crazy. We have a Lamborghini Urus, and not just any Urus. You can see as we get closer, there is a ton of forged carbon on here. This is made by 1016 Industries. You can see their race hood, their lip, and a bunch of other really cool stuff on this car. I'm pretty sure this was built by the guys over at Audio Toys, and they did a fantastic job of this car.
Out on your shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits some loose shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live.
The Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster, probably one of the coolest classic Lambos we've ever had at this show. The pink, which is an extremely rare color, white interior, of course, a gated 5-speed manual. This car was from Curated down in Miami, and now the owner, gentleman that's local to the area, has a bunch of other cars. That Color Shift SV that you guys are all familiar with. Just pick this up. It is absolutely beautiful.
Look at this thing, guys. That is the way to cruise. It's going, it's going, it's going. They had to leave because it took about 4 car parks, but just kidding, of course. What a great looking caddy that is.
Different versions, each new.
More Porsche, another Lamborghini. Man, every week it's getting bigger and bigger with more and more exotics, more and more interesting things. Like, check this out, coming around the corner. This is a old GTR Skyline, but 4-door, check it out. Very, very cool. Another one of our regulars pulling in. Love this Ferrari classic, worth a fortune, and yet it's been spec'd to race. Modern seats, got Sparko seats in it. Very, very cool, and sounds the way a Ferrari should sound as well. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Thanks for bringing it out again, guys. Always good to see you.
Here we have another Technica here this morning. I think we have 3 Technicas in total here today. Probably the most that we've had at the show, definitely the most we've had at the show, and maybe the most that there's been in one area in Southern California ever, to my knowledge. The last of the Lamborghini Huracan, aside from the Storado. What an awesome car. I think this is the first GT4 RS that we've had at the show. Look at the beautiful blue paint on this car. So much carbon, it's not even funny. I think these are the magnesium wheels too. This is definitely one of the coolest 718s that I've seen. What a beautiful spec. I can't even imagine how cool this car is to drive. The amount of power that this car makes, how light it is, and the positioning of the engine. What a beast.
We love it when we get YouTubers here at the show. Josh is no stranger to South OC Cars and Coffee. He was here last week along with the guys from Daily Driven Exotics. Make sure to follow their pages, check them out.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look.
So I was just walking past these two, and the owner of this truck, which has been car of the week before, pointed something out to me which is really, really interesting. If you notice on the side, Marmon Harrington, right? Same as this. Really rare to see two of these together. These were a four-wheel drive option on these trucks, or aftermarket. So to see them both together, guys, how many do you reckon would be in existence these days?
I would say probably 100.
About 100 of these. So these are rarer than all the exotics that you've got over there, and just great to see. So very rare, the Mercury in particular. There's a handful of them, but isn't this great to see? So 1947, 52 over here. You know, back in these days, you couldn't just go and buy an all-wheel drive vehicle. So there were companies that were doing that as an aftermarket thing. So how great to see. Thank you for bringing it out. It's just great to see, and thank you for pointing this out as well. It's these little gems that I love at the show. You know, it's just so great to see. You know, once again, we just looked at those two Marmon Harrington trucks, the Ford and then that the Woody, the Mercury. Here is another standout of the show. This is a dual gear. Just a very rare, very, very special car. And to see this at the show is, it's a privilege to be able to see cars like this. I mean, some of the details, look at the red steering wheel that's in there. Can you imagine what it would cost to restore something like this? All of the bright work that would need to be done, everything else. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful car. So I was just talking to Curtis, the owner, and he said, do you want me to open up under the hood? And yes, this has been car of the week before. I knew I'd photographed this before, but look how beautiful this thing is. Make sure to go back and check out our previous car of the week video on it. But there's so much detail on this thing. It is such a special car. This is cool. This is a Chrysler 300. Have a look at the size of this thing. What a great looking car. Oh, I wish you could smell the interior. This is just like, it smells like an old car should. And the size of the wings on this thing, check this out. It's absolutely huge. These have to be, I think the whole goal would have been, let's make something with bigger wings than a Cadillac, and I think they've obviously achieved that. But great looking car, just amazing to see. All these little details, you know, all the chrome and the bright work through here, bright work over here is beautiful. Have a look under the hood. Look at these air cleaners that are coming off these twin carbs on the side. This would have been a high performance car at its time. I'm sure this was luxury but performance as well. What an amazing, amazing, amazing looking car. So great to see. I had to do a double take on this. I thought, what is that? This is a TVR, a company out of the UK, They've been making sports cars for a long, long time. TVR, by the way, short for Trevor, the guy who started the company. In later years, they made some pretty high-performance vehicles, and they'd use motors and switchgear and all those sort of things from different manufacturers. But this particular car, interesting, powered by a Ford V8 under the hood. Some of their cars, they'd use a Rover 3500 V8 or the 4.4 litre, but this is obviously a little bit older. They weren't a kit car. You bought them complete, but they were an attempt at building a secondary brand of sports car, and they had things like tubular chassis, which in the UK would rust out, but still interesting. When you look in the dash and you see the way all the console and everything's trimmed, you can tell that this is something that a small auto manufacturer has built. It's not a mass market, mass produced vehicle, but hey, great to see, isn't it? Nice looking Porsche 928 there. In front of it, Cadillac DeVille. This thing is so massive. In front of it, beautiful looking GMC truck around about 55, 56 era. Really, really nice to see. Over behind us, some cool cars as well. Let's have a look at some of these. Victor over there, Jaguar there. Check out this truck. This is an International Harvester, and it's a dual cab, not something you see every day, but slammed. Check it out, obviously running air ride. But what's been cool is they've kept it sort of patinaed, but even the console that they've made and the seats are designed to look weathered. Tray's still rusty, or the bed's still rusty. These massive steel wheels. This is kind of cool. This is really, really good to see. Next to it, magnificent looking 67 Chevy. Beautiful wheels on this thing, beautiful interior, and really, really nicely done underneath the hood. LS, fast intake manifold on it. Beautiful, clean. Love the look of those RS headlights. Mustang next to it. Another Mustang. Check out this Ford Coupe. Makes me want to run moonshine. Absolutely magnificent looking car. This, of course, was this era of cars was the start of NASCAR, when guys would hot up their cars to go and run moonshine, as I just said, and then, of course, they'd start racing each other, and hey, that's where NASCAR started. But what a great lineup of cars through here. Now here's three very different, very cool vehicles side by side in the Overflow lot. First one, this F100 trophy truck was here a couple of weeks ago when we had the guys here from Bar HQ. Such a tough looking thing. Next to it, Caddy. Can never see too many Caddies. This thing's so long, so cool. Next to it, something you don't see very often, a Studebaker. A polarising looking car, I think, for the era. They were, well, I personally thought they were quite an ugly looking car for the era, but as years have passed, there's something, dare I say, ugly cool about this car because it's so different, its lines are so different. So I think it's great how some of these cars at the time may not have been cool to own, and now they are because, well, you just don't see many of them. So I love this, it's great to see. So thank you to the owner for bringing it out.
That is it for a fantastic week here at Southwest Cars and Coffee. The weather was perfect. So many cool supercars that rolled in, so many amazing other cars as well. Please remember, if you do want to come to South OC Cars and Coffee, respect our rules: no revving, no speeding, and no burnouts. That does include driving through the city of San Clemente, as well as getting on and off those freeways. I do want to say a huge thank you to all the sponsors as well. We have the brackets here, Wear Marketing, Polestar, Meguiar's, PDM brands, Next Level Auto Protection, Vetstein Law, Happy Jewelers, Carbontastic, and Mazda USA as well. And then I do want to say a huge thank you to all of the volunteers that help us put on this event each and every week. If you want to help us out as a volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch. It's where we handle all of the volunteer rostering, and then while you're over there, check out some of the new stuff we have. We just got these new hats in again, and then we designed these brand new t-shirts, all done for us by the PDM brands. They did a fantastic job. Please remember, if you are a volunteer at South OC Cars and Coffee, you get to bring in your car before 8:30, and then Ruby's Diner does also provide a free coffee and donut for everyone helping out too.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that and feeding the masses. We really appreciate them doing that, and to Outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here. We couldn't do the show without them, so remember, if you need to do some shopping, come to the Outlets of San Clemente, tell them South OC Cars and Coffee send you. Thank you to the City of San Clemente for their support as well. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thank you, guys.